What's going on, LDC 2.0? We're nearing the end of our season, and things are getting as real as they ever been. You understand? Games are on the line, seasons are on the line, legacies are on the line, and we're just going to dive right into it. We're not going to waste any time, and let's talk about our top 10 teams, our power rankings as of right now. So number 10, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, these Buccaneers suffered a bad loss in Week 10 to Seattle, but since then, they've been 3-0 in the games that they played. They did suffer a loss in a fair sim that I don't think should have been fair sim, but they have a huge win over the Bengals this week in Week 15. That Brady and Godwin connection has been godly. You understand? Maybe the best connection in the league. So number 10, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got a big game coming up against the division lead in their division, the Carolina Panthers, soon, and that's a matchup that I am definitely looking forward to. So number 10, we got the Bucs. Number 9, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills have fallen in this list due to losses to Detroit. You took a loss to Aaron Easter. Come on, dog. And then another loss to Christian and those Jets. So they fallen in these rankings. I had them a little bit higher. But they got to stop turning the ball over, man. They got to stop turning it over, and they got to find their run game. You know, they still have a great roster. They still have a capable user. But they got to figure it out because they can't be limping into these playoffs. And if they keep up, turning the ball over and not finding their run game, they might find themselves on the outside looking in. All right, so Bills at 9. Number 8, Carolina Panthers. Austin has taken over the Panthers, and, he's kept it up. They lead the division over the Bucs right now. And like I said, they're going to play soon. So that game might decide who's winning that division in Week 17, but John Ross is gone from a bust, and he's came alive. So when CMC gets going, you can bet Baker Mayfield's going to get going as well, and they gotta finish strong. Big game in Week 17. They just got a big win over the Steelers. So Panthers at 8. Number 7, we got the Seattle Seahawks, my team. I think we're the hottest team in the league right now. We had the second longest win streak before the Jags just took a loss to the Cowboys. So as of right now, we got the longest win streak in the league, I believe. And Jordan Love has been the best quarterback since that trade has went down in Week 6. Jordan Love is playing at MVP type level, and our defense has definitely stepped up. So we found our way to the top of our division, and we're looking at number 7. Number 6, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I had them number 3 before the loss to Dallas this week. And that game might have went a different way had it not. The Jags, his Xbox overheated in the game, disconnected. That's nobody's fault. It happens. But when it happens to your own doing, that has to hurt even worse. But, he was up 14-0 in that game before they had to restart. And in the restart, he got bounced 33-0. I think it was a concede. So he went from the 3rd spot all the way down to 6. And if he loses this week, he loses next week, he may find himself outside of this top 10. But we'll see if they can bounce back from such a beat down. This team they have a recipe for success. They run the football well, and they play defense. They create turnovers. When you can do those things well and you have a good special teams, you find your way to the win column more often than not. So number 6, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Number 5, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, who were on a 4-game win streak before taking a loss to those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a close game, but the Buccaneers stepped up and got the job done. So kudos to them, and that's how they cracked the top 10. But with the Bengals, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that connection has led them to one of the top offenses in the league. They're a very explosive offense, but also they turn the ball over. All right, they're going to give you some turnovers. But when they're not turning it over and Chase and Burrow is connecting, you got that running back there, and then you got the top defense in the league, or one of the top defenses in the league. You can find yourself with a recipe for success, and that's how they find themselves sitting at number 5, Cincinnati Bengals. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is probably the best D-line user in the league. He took a rookie D-lineman, and he has this guy up for like the MVP or something crazy like that. Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, MVP. He just uses him the entire time, and he just wreaks havoc. He wreaks havoc up front. And when you can play defense as well as they play defense up front, and you have the secondary that he has, and he's able to run the ball very well, and I haven't even mentioned Aaron Rodgers yet, you can find yourself winning a lot of football games. They have one of the top defenses in the league. They have one of the top rushing games in the league. They have one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And that's why they find themselves near the top of the league. So Packers are number 4. Number 3, the LA Chargers. Now this roster is crazy. Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack has been causing problems for anybody who steps in their way. They had a big win against Miami a couple of weeks ago, and now they're on a 6-game win streak. All right, so these Chargers are nothing to play with. Michael Kaz has been putting guys in the trash can left and right. Mike Williams and Austin Eckler has been doing their thing. But my thing, the reason why I don't have them number 1, not just because I don't do this based off of, the standings in the game. I do it based off of who is the top 10 teams in the league. Okay? The reason why I don't have the Chargers number 1 after beating the Dolphins is because I don't know about Kaiser's ability to win big games in the playoffs. I've never seen him do it. I have not seen him get playoff wins. I have not seen him go on playoff runs. I have not seen him win Super Bowls. I have never seen him in a Super Bowl. So with that being said, I question his ability to win games when it matters the most. You got the win in the regular season. You handed the Dolphins their first loss, but I question your ability to do that again when it matters the most. But all respect to you for the regular season accomplishments that you currently have, and I'll put you at number 3 on this list. Chargers number 3. Number 2, the best team in the NFC right now is the Dallas Cowboys. They just put a beat down on the Jags, but it was 33-0. And I had the Jags ranked 3rd right behind them before that beat down. So it lets you know how these Cowboys are coming. Now, is this record and the success they have because of a weak schedule? That's something that you might need to take into consideration. They did put a beat down on the Jags, but regardless of that, who have they played? The Packers, they beat the Packers by 4. I give you that. That was early in the season and may go a different way now, later in the season. But besides that, who have they played? They've had a pretty weak schedule, but they've handled their business where they needed to handle their business. They're a complete team. They spread the ball around. They have a balanced attack. They play defense. They get after your quarterback. They force turnovers. They're a complete team, but same question as Kaiser. Can they perform in the playoffs? I haven't seen it before. There's no precedent set for these guys or for this user to, put up big games in the playoffs. So I'm very skeptical about their ability to get it done when it matters the most. But as of right now, the Cowboys are sitting at number 2 in our power rankings. Number 1, this team has been the best team in the league from day 1. They just suffered their first loss a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna let it slide, okay? Because I don't think Kaiser can beat them again in the playoffs if they do see each other. This team, the Miami Dolphins, have been the best team since this league has started, and there's no argument to that. Tua has been the best quarterback until the Jordan Love trade. Since the Jordan Love trade, he's been the second best quarterback in the league. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, they're virtually unstoppable with all that speed. They lead the league in takeaways. They have 2 DBs with double-digit INT numbers. You have a very explosive team. You have a very aggressive user, and you have a user who has won Super Bowls, who has made playoff runs, and knows what it takes to perform in those big games, and he's been in a lot of those big games. So, with that being said, the Miami Dolphins are the clear-cut number 1 team in this league in our power rankings. Let's transition over to the bottom of our league. Woo! I've never thought I'd see the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson ending up with the number 1 pick in the draft, but here we are. Let's talk about the bottom 6 teams, or at least the top 6 picks in our upcoming draft as of right now. Number 1, you got the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens, right now, they're lacking a pass rush. They need wide receiver help. That's the 2 biggest needs, in my opinion. So, with the number 1 pick in the draft, I believe the Ravens should go Will Anderson out of Alabama. He's the clear-cut best player in this draft. There's no argument about that. He's the best player in the country, okay? We don't have to talk about it much more past that. There is no argument. He is the best player in the country. Ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask whoever you want to ask, look up whatever you want to look up, or just go watch the film. Will Anderson is a beast, okay? Number 1 pick, Baltimore Ravens, Will Anderson out of Alabama. Now, let's get to the number 2 pick with these Chicago Bears. When you have a team as bad as the Bears, just get whoever is the best available. You need talent. I don't care about your team need. I don't care about your strengths and your weaknesses, because guess what? They're all weaknesses. You just need to get talent on that roster. So you go grab the best player available. And in that sense, the best player available, in my opinion, is Bryce Young. Is Justin Fields the answer? I don't think so. How long has it been? Was it year 3 now? And he has not gotten the job done. He leads the league in picks. Your team is picking in the top of the draft again. Trade Fields, get picks, go get a better quarterback in Bryce Young, and use those extra picks to surround Bryce Young with the weapons that he needs or the protection that he needs up front, okay? Because Fields is going to have a market. He's an athletic QB. He ain't getting no younger, but he hasn't developed up until this point. He's still in the low 70s, and he's only going to keep getting older. So somebody else would take on that task of developing him, but his time in Chicago needs to be done. Go get Bryce Young. Number 1 and number 2, Alabama guys. All right. Number 3 pick, the Philadelphia Eagles. You traded away Jalen Hurts. I don't know why you did that, but hey, you do what you got to do, man. But I don't believe Davis Mills is the answer. You need a quarterback and you need offensive line, because that O-line, they're getting old, all right? Lane Johnson, old. Kelsey, old. You need a quarterback first and foremost, though. So I think you go get the quarterback with the highest upside in the draft, which is AR-15. This guy is a freak of nature, okay? He's the fastest quarterback in the draft. He may be faster than Kyler Murray, with the size of a Josh Allen, with the arm of a Patrick Mahomes. That's the type of athlete this guy is. Now, can he get it together mentally up top? Can he be an extremely accurate quarterback? That still remains to be seen. But all of the physical traits that you need to be a great QB or to be a top pick in the draft, AR-15 has it. So I think the Eagles go grab AR-15 with the number 3 pick. Pick number 4, the Miami Dolphins own this pick because of the Trey Lance trade with the 49ers, and the 49ers have been abysmal this year for some reason. I'm not going to get into that, but with the number 4 pick, the Dolphins, their biggest need right now, they're a great team. They need D tackle help. They need offensive line help. And Chase Edmonds has been toting that rock, but I think you can get better there as well. So with the Dolphins, there's no real dire need for your team. So I'd say go take the best player available. And I think the best player available up until this point of the draft is Bijan Robinson of the University of Texas, UT. Bijan is a monster. Probably the second best player in the entire country, regardless of position. If quarterback didn't matter that much, he would be the second best player in the country. But Bryce Young holds that right now. But Miami Dolphins, I say go get your running back. Chase Edmonds has been toting that rock, but if you add Bijan to that offense, literally they are unstoppable. Unstoppable. Bijan Robinson, number 4 pick, Miami Dolphins. Number 5, we got the Philadelphia Eagles again. Like I said, you need a quarterback, you need an offensive line. You got your quarterback in number 3 with AR-15. Protect him now. Go get Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. All right, with the number 4 pick, he's the best offensive lineman in this draft. And there's no more to be said than that. You have weapons. You have a running back, great receiving core, great tight end. The offensive line is getting older, which is why I say go get offensive lineman right here. Your D-line is great. Your linebacking core is solid. Your secondary is solid. You have a good team, man. There's no reason why you're this bad in year 1. But Peter Skoronski, number 5 pick, Philadelphia Eagles, stamp it. Number 6, the New York Giants. I don't want to argue with you over this, Tank. I know you a fan of Daniel Jones. He is not it, dog. He is not it. Go take the last player of that three-headed monster of these quarterbacks that we have and get your franchise guy. CJ Stroud out of Ohio State is the pick at number 6 for the Giants. Daniel Jones ain't it. I know you're going to say, no, I'm not doing it. Look, dog, Daniel Jones is not the answer. Do I think he's going to get CJ Stroud? No. Should he? Yes. Do I think the Eagles is going to go get AR-15? Probably not, because I don't know what's going through their mind. But as of right now, I think these are the right picks for the top 6 picks in the upcoming draft. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Till next time, LDC 2.0.